at you guys from the Aloft in Portland, Oregon today. For sure one of my favorite hotel chains. I mean, just look at this lobby, you know? It's bright, there's games, there's a bar, it's modern, and everyone's friendly. Should be a pretty fun day today. Brad Owen and I, we are here in Portland to play on the Poker Guys show, which is called Poker Time. This is it's going to be on an RFID table, so we're going to have all the hole cards available. We're going to have footage available from the Poker Guys production. These guys run their own YouTube channel. They'll be posting the entirety of the footage from the game on their channel over the course of several episodes. I will put a link down to their channel down below. Heading over to Portland Meadows where the game is filmed now. Alright guys, last vlog episode was a little bit lighter on the poker hands, poker action. Expect this episode to be pretty much the exact opposite. It's 5-10, no limit Texas Hold'em. I believe we're playing 8-handed and we have a max buy-in of $2,400. Time to get down to business and we're gonna hop in this action. 5-10, no limit. Let's go.
It's a new session of Poker Time. We got some new players. Get ready for them, Grant. That's right. It's Andrew Neeme. It's Brad Owen. Vlogger superstars.
There's Brad on the left and Andrew on the right.
Joseph is surrounded. He's in the vlogger sandwich. Is that okay to say?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. It's kind of a superstar lineup there. There's Brewer. We got Jake. We got Wonka. These guys are legit.
They are.
Ish.
They're good players.
Yeah, no, they are. They're absolutely all good players.
What do you mean legit-ish?
Been pros. There's Batiste. Won a World Series circuit event. Snuggie. He wears different kinds of shirts. So there's, we can say that about him. No, but we actually are quite excited to have both Brad and Andrew Neeme on the show, to be clear. And we're going to be here for the next several episodes of Poker Time, and we'll enjoy them.
All right, guys, we've been playing for about an hour now, so just taking a quick break, 5 or 10 minute break. Sort of have to do this every hour. Just the way that the games are run, the way the games are set up. I don't know, it's really confusing for me to try and explain all these rules that vary by state. And I think we'll just get right into a couple hands that happened in that first hour. I opened up 8-7 hearts.
The magic bullet, and then came out. And then came out. Another light topic. Probably. Assassination.
You know, we get good microphones and
everything goes crazy. Talk, yeah.
Well, even if the poker's boring, at least the conversation will be good.
Good point, Batiste.
You could always just 3-bet every hand, Batiste. I can't.
Brewer just rolling Brad Owen there about the JFK assassination.
It's a matter of will. I'll start.
All right, we got an open ender for Neeme here, and Wonka's still with 2 8s.
Wonka's a pretty good hand on this board.
No.
Of course, Neeme flops quite well.
Okay.
Wonka certainly won't be folding here. The question is if Neeme's going to continue betting on turn cards that don't improve him.
No, I have the same problem.
How frequently will Wonka continue on which cards?
Yep. I mean, I expect Neeme to continue a lot, and there's just going to be some cards Wonka's going to have to fold. That's a candidate. If Neeme decides to continue.
Neeme could have, you know, Queen 10, Queen Jack, King, Queen, Ace, Queen, all those hands.
Yep.
He could also have had Wonka beat on the flop.
Damn it, you figured it out.
The question is, are 8s too good to fold still?
I don't know if they are. Let's see what the sizing is, because Neeme is continuing here.
The turn comes an offsuit queen, so maybe that's kind of good for my range. I should be a little bit more high card heavy in this spot. So I decide to continue c-betting here on the turn card, which, you know, still have an open ender and no showdown value. So I bet 180 here.
180?
Gotta bring somebody over.
So he's betting kind of big-ish, although this is normal cash game sizing for sure.
This is more likely to work early in the session than
Yes.
later in the session.
So there aren't that many bluffs he's really going to show up with here. Maybe Jack 10, maybe 8-7, it's maybe 4-5 suited. There's not too much.
There's a bunch of math going on in Wonka's head right now. He's trying to figure out where in his distribution he's falling.
He's like Russell Crowe in front of that
At this point, it's
chalkboard.
gonna be me.
Yeah.
And he does decide to make the call. He's got to be thinking he's going to have to fold to most rivers, though.
Oh,
No, I
absolutely.
played one. I folded.
Can't feel good when you make the call. That's a pretty good river, though.
That is not a good run out for Neeme to rep anything. Now he's repping mostly trips when he bets again.
Yeah.
So off to the river card, which is not a very good card for us. It's another queen. So that's going to be tough for me to represent it.
He's repping trip queens are better if he bets, and he
Yeah.
decides when Wonka calls the turn, he's going to be stationing more on the
Right.
river.
Wonka's got a lot of pocket 10s, 9-10 suited, ace-9 suited type hands
Exactly.
that he's not going to be folding on that run out. And maybe 8s is a call when the queen pairs on the river as well.
I'm not sure if it is or not, honestly. It comes down to sizing, and I imagine Wonka would probably fold this early in the session if Neme's going to
Probably.
fire 3 barrels, but I understand why Andrew gave up there. I think I would too.
You would give yourself a little pause because it doesn't necessarily have to be just trip queens that Andrew's betting there. I mean, if he had aces or kings, maybe even jacks, he might
You're
take a triple barrel line because Wonka doesn't have many queens in his range there except for queen 9 suited if he even has that.
That's fair, but then it's hard to come up with hands you're going to get called by. You're hoping
Right.
to get called by just a 9 mostly, right?
Yeah.
Which is tough.
So he made 2 good call downs there on both the flop and the turn. Couldn't get him to lay it down, and that one's not going to work out for us. In another hand, there was a late position open, I believe, to 35, and I looked down at king queen offsuit on the button. Some blockers to some good hands, so I put in a 3-bet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think as long as it doesn't slow down the game.
Snuggie with a reasonable holding here.
You want a hand, you got your
Sure.
Yeah, no, with
keep
the
this
flop.
simple.
Not if there's a
Gotta
flop.
believe Neme's going to
Only if
at
there
least
was a
call.
flop.
Looks like he's pulling out 3-betting chips, though.
I like that.
Especially if he's ever watched Poker Time, he'll know Snuggie's
And
a
definitely
good
the
candidate to
way
3-bet with a
it's
hand like this.
Gotta imagine Brad and Andrew did their research on these players that they knew they were going to play
Or
against.
at least a little bit. At least an episode or two, which is probably all you need for some of these guys. Get a sense of it. We also love to talk about everyone's strategy.
Yep.
Is Snuggie gonna just throw this one away too, or is he gonna call? I think he's gonna throw it away.
That would be a normal thing to do.
Yep. Yeah, he's definitely throwing it away now when he makes the hand gripping gestures. There it is. Wait, no!
I think he just said voices, and then he put it in.
Yes.
The voices in his head made him do it.
All right, fair enough, Snuggie.
It's a reasonable holding.
Sure. We are out of position.
And he flops best. Very dry flop. It does have 2 hearts, but that doesn't usually become a factor. Andrew's going to be betting this the majority of the time. He has a range advantage here.
Seems like a pretty good spot to put in a C-bet once again, having not very much showdown value and lots of good turn cards that can improve us with either a top pair or a draw. So I go ahead and put out a C-bet of $125.
Things are probably going to shut down unless Andrew improves.
Well, Andrew can improve to, just his equity can improve in terms of like a 9 or a 10 or an ace. I assume he's betting, any Broadway card that isn't a jack and a 9.
Because once Snuggie calls, he's only just hoping that Snuggie has a flush draw, and that's not the majority of Snuggie's range, so it's going to be hard to get him off of.
Turn is a bad one, it's a 5, so if he's peeling on that flop, it seems like this turn card might be better for his range than it is for mine. Doesn't improve us, we were looking for anything 9 or higher, really, other than a jack. So when he checks it to me, once again, I check it back, and the river...
Like Snuggie could have 2 10s and 2 9s, and we could try to get him to move off it, but I don't even know if that's a great idea.
Well, now Snuggie makes trips. Is he gonna? He's not gonna trap. It looks. He's gonna bet, and I don't think he's gonna get any value out of
This
that
is
one.
about as easy a fold as you could get. The hearts come in, trip jacks are there. It's incredibly hard to get him to move off of something. Here's the show one spot. See if we can see the card.
Oh, it's a 9 of diamonds.
9 of diamonds.
See Andrew's face here. Ah, he doesn't like that.
Wasn't expecting that.
No,
Yeah, I don't
Sometimes
blame you.
it's better when you cheat.
It's okay, he had it, Andrew.
We are playing a game where the winner is going to show down one of their cards, and he shows me a 9, I believe, which could have had Jack 9 there. I'm not sure at this point, but I don't know. Didn't really work out for me in that hand either. And that's most of the action so far. There was another hand where I opened 9-7 of spades and 5 ways to a flop.
Feels like there's
reasonable.
enough money out there, and Snuggie's kind of priced in with almost anything.
Yeah, it's not crazy. All right, we got 5 hands. Someone's got to hit something.
Very loose.
I guess not. Ace, king, king.
Brewer with the most equity.
Ace,
here.
king, king. No one hits anything.
Whoa. Okay. Hold on a second.
Everybody hit everything.
Batiste flops the nuts. Snuggie flops the second nuts.
Wait, Wonka.
Wonka flops a set of sixes. Andrew Neeme flops 2 overs with the gut shot and the backdoor flush draw.
No. He's got double gutted.
Oh, double gutted. He's double gutted.
Neeme's got a hand. So, whoa, okay. Batiste bets. Snuggie immediately raises with the second nuts, understandably. I don't think Neeme can fold yet.
He can raise or call. He could fold. It wouldn't be insane to fold.
Already a pretty weird spot, but I want to continue here. I need to see one more card, preferably at least. So I make the cold call.
I would not fold yet if I were him. He's got draws to the nuts. He's got draw to the nuts plus the
He
back
makes
door.
the call. And what does Wonka do now? Does he raise or call?
I think he's probably going to raise because he's got to assume someone's got a 4,
This is
right?
insane.
This is crazy Coolerville
This is the biggest cooler in the history of poker time.
already.
Yeah.
Neeme's going to have to be the guy pushing to get his money
I think if Wonka
in.
raises, Neeme's out of this pot because Batiste is going to re-raise.
Or Snuggie will.
Yeah.
Someone's going to put in another raise, if not 2 more raises.
Looks like there is a raise to 410.
I like this raise. I think he's supposed to do this
And I
for
think
sure.
with all of this action, Batiste with the nuts here should probably just look to get it in.
The truth is it won't matter anyway based on the hands that we're seeing. And he moves in.
He moves in.
Here's Snuggie. Now, Snuggie's got the second nuts.
You wouldn't really put people on 7-4 too often.
No. I mean, I think it's one of those, it's a cooler if he has it. Like, what are you going to do? Snuggie just asked why no one's called the clock on him. And he is finally going.
Which
he
is
had to do it.
Entirely reasonable. Andrew's going to have to get
knows
out of there.
he can't do it.
So now it's back to me, and it's just not a very good situation. Even though we're getting better odds with all these people in the middle, all these players and all this money in the middle, it's a pretty good price for us for sure, but the problem is we're only drawing to the nuts on one side. It looks like somebody could have the nuts already, and maybe if we had 8-9, it would be a really tough spot, but I think I just have to let it go in this instance, and the button calls it off as well. It's a ridiculous cooler of a flop, top set versus 2 straights, and we're in not so good shape there.
If there were 2 spades, he would go, I think.
At that point. Man, this sucks. You're such a nit when the money goes in Batiste. I actually feel like
harder after he calls.
behind a little bit more often on the head. Maybe.
Interesting.
He's not even worried about
It doesn't matter, though.
Snuggie. He knows he's got to get it in, but
He knows he has to get in with top set here.
He's sort of letting everyone know that he thinks
behind.
he's usually behind.
9-7 spades.
And here we go.
5.7K in the pot.
Biggest pot in the history of poker time, I believe.
And Wonka's not in bad shape here. Batiste has all the equity.
Of course he does. 62%. It's pretty amazing. Look at Snuggie with his scant 2%.
This is painful for Snuggie. Very painful.
See, Wonka, though, only had to call a little bit to get that level of price. And Batiste is one card away from this huge pot here. Batiste or Wonka, who's going to win it?
Oh, it's a chop.
It's a chop.
Snuggie gets there for the chop.
Oh, I want to see Batiste's face.
But I think in the worst case,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
was thinking 7-8.
We ran out with backdoor 2 pair, but not gonna bring it. Wouldn't have brought it home for us, even if we call it off there in that spot. So just looking to make some hands here. Maybe eventually I'll find a pair or something. All right, hour 2 coming up.
And look at how that has changed the cumulative winnings. Wonka used to be the top dog.
Yep, now he's the biggest loser. Goodbye. Snuggie is the current biggest winner.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
He had more money than Batiste.
Yeah, so he got all that extra, and he chopped up the rest of it too. Yeah.
When the weather's not good.
There's some of those Neeme bucks in there too. Don't
Weather's
forget.
been great.
A few hundred Neeme bucks.
Yeah.
Those are redeemable
on
for
YouTube,
cash
on
value.
YouTube
On YouTube only. Yes.
All right, guys, hour number 2 is in the books. Okay, let's talk about a hand here real quick. Brad opens to $35, and I looked down at pocket deuces, a couple of his left.
Fritz here, you guys should meet Harry and Fritz.
They look like the 2 old guys on the Muppets.
Got 2 small pairs in here, along with
King 10 suited.
and Snuggie's definitely gonna call it the Queen Jack.
Well, I mean, they
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
One's 96, one's 94. They come here every day.
They're here right now.
Probably.
Harry was over there earlier.
Harry
I didn't
just
see
left.
Fritz. Oh, Harry left.
So what do you think is going to happen here? You think we're going to get a straight against 2 pair?
It's pretty amazing.
Nope.
Nope. How about set over set?
Works for me. No one has a club out of the entire world.
What 96-year-old plays?
Somebody has a club in the world.
Nope. I've checked. Snuggie.
Snuggie just led. We didn't. It was off camera.
There we go. 60. 260 into 145.
This is a curious play.
So bottom set on a monotone board, and what's interesting is that the big blind leads right out for $60. Brad makes the fold, and I decided to call here, see what develops on the turn.
Why is he just hoping no one has a big club?
Andrew's just going to call with his set, and Brewer with middle set.
We certainly can't fold.
Definitely just going to call. I mean, it's understandable to just call on this monochromatic board here.
Sure, we're deep,
on
and you could be losing. Snuggie just led into the world.
Sure it is.
3 clubs out
and
there.
now Snuggie actually improved to top pair.
Snuggie now thinks there's probably a reasonable chance he has the best hand. He's right. It is reasonable. He just doesn't. In fact, he's drawing dead. Brewer has just got everything going for him in this hand, but
it's a little scary.
It's hard to win a
clubs.
big pot unless the board pairs.
Andrew's asking himself if he should raise here.
Yeah, he's certainly never going to.
It's a very small bet from Snuggie.
So when the big blind bet's $90, I believe, this time, that's a pretty small bet size compared to the size of the pot now. So I'm going to raise it up here, bet for some equity protection, equity denial, fancy words, and I make it 280, I believe.
Maybe that's why Andrew thinks raising is reasonable, and it looks like he's got raising chips there. I understand the sizing is probably indicating to him that Snuggie doesn't usually have a flush.
And now Brewer's in a weird spot where...
This is a very weird spot.
Sort of like, boy, you'd really hate to call this and have Snuggie re-raise. At the same point, we have middle set. We often have the best hand. We sometimes have the best hand. We, of course, can improve to a full house, and that's almost always going to be good.
Yeah, I think we just have to call.
I agree. Sometimes Andrew doesn't have us beat. Sometimes Andrew has the hand he has, or a big ace of clubs or something like that, or 2 pair.
I think Brewer's thinking this all through and thinking, okay, if I raise and then somebody re-raises, I'm going to have to fold.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel comfortable with that.
So we're going to have to put the 260 in as Brewer, knowing that if Snuggie and Andrew go to war right here, we're just going to have to lose that 260.
He, in fact, had to put 280 in.
Oh, the worst hand he can have. Maybe you can have ace-jack with the ace of clubs.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't even know if you can raise that.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty clear call.
I like that
Snuggie
fold.
does find the fold, which is a good fold.
Yep.
The player on my left makes the call again. After thinking about it for a long time, the big blind folds here. So I'm a little bit worried, not exactly sure where we're at. I imagine my opponent has one of 2 holdings. Could have a flush, could have the ace of clubs, or potentially a better set than me. And as you guys can see on the screen here, if I'm using the footage from the poker guys, which I'm not even sure yet, but I think I am, he's got himself middle set on the flop.
But that was cool that he was thinking about raising. All right. See if the board pairs. It does not.
Do you think a bet can go in here?
I don't think Andrew can make the bet.
No, Andrew cannot bet with Brewer just flatting.
After the river breaks off and I can't get value from the ace of clubs, I can only induce a bluff, and that's the only way I'm going to get value from worse. So I decided to check it.
Then, so if Andrew does check, Brewer has a big decision here. Can he get value? We know he can.
Yeah, but he's losing a lot here.
Set. Sure. I think I have a higher set, yeah.
I think you do.
How did you hear that?
Yep.
Neeme said set, and Brewer knew it was bottom set. He said, I think I have a higher set.
Well, he didn't know.
But
he knows that Andrew almost never has a set of jacks, right? So it's 8s or deuces.
I guess it could have been worse in a set over set situation. I only lose the flop bet and the turn bet, but yeah, it could have been worse. Don't think there's too much value there for me on the river. I think my opponent would probably fold 8-6 on the turn. Tough for me to be raising with worse there, unless it stays the clubs. But flop ourselves a set, and it's no good. What do you know in a whole cards up game? We're the same so far, but let's see what happens in the next hour. Alright guys, I think it's the last break of the day. It's actually a couple of hours later since my last update. Skipped the previous update because there was nothing good or interesting to report. Just super card dead for the most part here. The hands, the boards, the flops, the turns, the rivers, they're just not cooperating whatsoever. Had Queen Jack offsuit where I opened. There's been a lot of straddles going on in this game, so I think I opened for $60 with the Queen Jack offsuit and got called in 2 spots.
Andrew's
Good things can happen.
Andrew's got so much of the equity in his hand, and he flops open-ended. Meanwhile, Kevin flops a gut shot, and Snuggy flops top pair.
A little something for everyone. Kevin also with the backdoor heart star, which I'm sure he notices.
With him behind.
Let's see what Neeme continues with here. How much he continues for, I should say.
Now, if Kevin's going to continue in the hand, I prefer a raise to a call.
Kevin does a lot of calling and makes plays later. Though. We've
Looks
seen
like
that.
a call, yeah. It tells a lot more of a wide-range story when you do that.
Snuggy with top pair, though, it's going to make it a little harder. Neeme can just turn the nuts, though. Let's see if he can pull that off. Nope.
Nope. And now Snuggy picks up a gut shot.
Yeah.
Mr. Snuggy over there, a few seats to my right, is not exactly one who's looking to make too many folds. So when it checks to me on the turn, I decide to check it.
He does not want to hit it.
It would be a disaster.
It checks to Kevin, and this is where Kevin usually takes a shot.
Yep. I don't imagine Snuggy's going to give up here. Actually, probably either player, depending on the sizing. That looks a little cheap, right?
There is a spade draw out there to worry about as Neeme, but I don't think it's too much of either player's range.
With overs and the open-ender for 160 into this pot, I feel like this is a pretty straightforward call. In position.
The last player puts out a pretty small bet. Way too small of a bet to ever fold to, especially when Snuggy makes the call there on the turn.
Yep,
Like,
and
this
he's
just feels like
gonna
could
make
be-
the call.
He doesn't love it. He knows he's almost always behind.
Just like a BC boy would do.
And it's bricks out. Which
Snuggy's just gonna
got
get
the
to
best
win
hand.
if
Well, let's see.
Kevin's the one who would bluff here, most
Yep.
likely, not Andrew.
He's bluffing.
He is, but it's a small bluff.
How much?
It's like 200 and something into
Snuggy
9.
calls fast.
I mean, if Kevin's gonna bluff there, he's got to bet a bit bigger than 210, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
We
it's
know that's
possible.
no good.
It's possible he saved himself money. Snuggy might just be in the mode where he's not going to fold for anything.
So I don't think there was going to be too much that I could do in that hand, and that's sort of the story of the night, really. Just not connecting with anything whatsoever. Haven't had any premium hands either. I think I might have had pocket 8s once, and that's been the most premium hand. No big pairs. I haven't even had ace king or ace queen, I don't think, one time in this entire session so far. Semi-miserable. Think I'm down about $2,000 in the game. Just no love whatsoever. Maybe I should just retire from these streamed / recorded games. Retire forever. No, not gonna give up. I think we're gonna play for another hour. We'll see what happens. There's good action in the game, lots of straddles and restraddles, so anything's possible in an hour in this kind of game. But so far, just sigh after sigh. Alright guys, so one last hour of poker to report, and it ended up being actually quite eventful, the last hour, and in particular the second or third to last hand that we played for the evening was it was a big one, and it started by I believe there was a straddle on. I looked down at queen jack offsuit in the blinds. I just complete.
It's just
Cards is better.
the rules of bridge.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you have Brad's hand, you just hope you're not up against 8 of hearts, or you know.
I know, that's
you
the
have no
one. That's the
chance.
nightmare.
Yeah.
He's living it. He's living the nightmare. Andrew has a ton of equity with his queen jack. Not anymore.
Kevin flops bottom 2. Andrew flops top pair. Here we go.
I'm just gonna go ahead and lead into the field. I don't want to give any free cards here, and might as well just try and get some value. So
Andrew only with 2K. This could get ugly
This
against
could
Kevin
be
specifically.
just the cherry on top of a real bad session for Andrew.
Kevin decides to call. He could have raised, but I understand why he's just calling.
I would have liked to see a raise based
Yeah.
on Kevin's reputation and
I
Andrew
agree.
deciding to lead into 3 opponents.
I don't think Andrew can ever fold to a Kevin raise.
Oh, okay. Well, now the session might turn around a little bit.
This is a great opportunity for Neeme to get it back.
turn's a good one for us. Gives us top 2 pair, and obviously gonna go for some more value and charge some draws.
Get all the money back.
He's betting again. I like betting again.
Now, there's a
And
raise.
There's a raise. Now, does Andrew just shovel here?
Let's see how much the raise is to. 550, and he has a kind of a perfect re-raising stack. The problem is, can we get called by worse hands if we shovel?
Maybe this specific hand.
Yeah, and this guy with this specific hand who just called $700 with a gut shot. I think we should shovel.
Kevin also has so much bluff, though, that if we call, Kevin is often betting the river, whether he has it or not.
That's true, and there aren't that many terrible cards on the river that are going to scare him, right? There's some.
These are all things going through Andrew's head right now as he counts out his stack.
There's also 1.2K in the middle. It can't be that bad just to shove in.
I'm just never going to do anything other than jam it in here. So I Hollywood a little bit and count my stack down. But it's just gonna be pretty straightforward, especially being out of position. Maybe if I was in position, I would entertain a flat call, but out of position, I think 100% jam in this spot seems appropriate.
You know, sometimes just win it without, you know, having to worry about anything. And he does shove.
Yeah, he's putting the rest in. And snap call from
immediate call by Kevin.
9% to win is Kevin, which is worse than he was against Batiste. Let's see if he can get there here.
I've done it with less.
Not that time.
Nope. Andrew makes the nuts.
And just like that, Andrew Neeme digs himself out of the hole he's been in all night long.
Yeah, he turns it around on one hand. He's probably got a great feeling of relief washing over him right now.
You do all this work and you wait and you wait and you wait and it does get paid off. Some of the time in poker.
And look at this, vlogging in action.
Get that camera out. Something good happened. We're going to make a video about this one.
Make ourselves a full house. So just in time, very much towards the end of the session, we get a full double up to bring us right back around even for the entire session. No premium hands. We did find pocket queens once and I raised it and everybody folded somehow.
Anyway, he gets no action. That's the best hand I think Andrew's had this entire time.
That might make him a bit Andrew Steamy.
Yeah.
That he got no action when he finally picked up a premium hand.
I mean, he really looks like he just might have to choke somebody out.
Anyway, pocket queens, raise and take it. I think I had pocket jacks. Never had aces, never had kings, never had ace king. Don't think I had ace queen. I had ace jack and pocket eights. Not too much to speak of after that. So that's gonna be a wrap. But pretty fun session here. I would definitely come back and play this game again. So hopefully I'll make that happen at some point. And it's so fun, so easy to have a lot of fun here in Portland. Too many breweries per square mile in this city. What's not to like? Really cool city, fun games, basically no rake. It's not gonna help you run any better, especially on a live table, on an RFID table. But what can you do? Just gonna keep trying.